Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gooners Gone Wild Podcast. It's week 3 of constant uploads. The consistency is back, lads. We are here. We are live. We are Samuelus once again, but I swear he misses all of you, and we miss him very much. He is still here. Yes, he is still here.
Looking for Sammy. Looking for Sammy.
You're looking for Sammy. Yeah.
Sammy Cam.
Sammy Cam. But I am joined with the other two members, Doc and Coach Ari. Say, what is up, my beautiful people?
What's up, everybody?
Hello.
And tonight's theme of the podcast is all wearing pink. So if you guys are watching over on the YouTube, you guys can see that we all have some sort of pink Arsenal kit on. And, we got Ari repping the 22-23 training kit.
I think so, yes.
You got me repping the 21-22 training kit. And then you got Doc repping the 22-23 third kit. And anybody have anybody's names on the back?
Mine's
yours is blank. Yeah,
I can only do initials.
That's true. That's true.
There's no name on this.
It says Coach Ari. Yeah. But all right, today we're going to cover the incomings and outgoings of Arsenal because there have been so many since we last spoken last week, and we're also going to give our pre-match thoughts on the Brighton matchup this Saturday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time for all us Americans, because that's mainly who tunes into this podcast. Shout out to all the British people who call us stupid Americans. We love all of you. Keep watching our TikToks. Hell yeah.
Keep bumping up our content.
Anyways, moving on. Let's start with the transfers, okay? So let's talk about the big news that came out of Arsenal's camp. Let's talk about the arrival of Mikel Merino, who is wearing my favorite number. So I got a cop a jersey. What are your guys' thoughts on that? I'm going to kick it off with Doc today.
I love the signing, and I think it's great. You're getting a center mid that has played alongside our captain at Real Sociedad, and you're getting a Euro winner. Now people are going to be like, oh, he was just a part of the best team in the Euros. He was along for the ride. He had a great Euros. And we're bringing in a proper 8, meaning that Declan Rice we're probably going to see sit back at the 6. He's going to play alongside Odegaard and hopefully give our left wing a little bit of help going forward. And I think it's probably one of the better midfield signings this window for the quality of player that we're getting. Yes, he is a little bit older, but also for the price. It's like 30 mil, 32 mil plus add-ons. And we just saw Man United get Ugarte. Where's he coming from? Is it PSG?
I believe so.
Where he wasn't playing at all for almost double the price that we got Merino for.
Facts. And that Manchester United midfield might be good enough to win a Carabao Cup, so you might have to be on the lookout for them.
Ari, what you got?
So we have our, we've got 3 Gabriels. We've got 3 Gabriels. We've got 3 Gabriels. Now we've got 2 Mikels.
True.
So,
let's go.
So, every time we add another player with a similar name to someone else in our squad, we get even better, like tenfold.
We need a third Mikel.
So we need a third Mikel. And we'll be unstoppable. We'll do the treble. We'll win everything. We'll win every domestic cup. It's over.
We're cooking.
But yeah, I think it's a good signing. 28. I think he comes in. He immediately improves the squad. He gives us depth in the midfield that we desperately need as well. Alongside Jorginho and Partey as well. So, if someone gets injured, we have that depth. But also, I think he adds something different. Just like how we have so many options at left back, he adds something different to our midfield in terms of his style of play and just what he offers in terms of size and stature. I think it'll be very helpful along in our press because we like to press so high, and then when they go long, he'll be able to win a lot of balls out of the air. So I think it's a good signing. Excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I couldn't agree with you guys more. I think 28, I think we signed him for 32 million. I think that 32 million was a steal in my opinion. If any of you guys watched the Euros, he seemed to be like an absolute baller on the pitch. So I'm excited to see him slide into our side. I saw a meme that Mikel Arteta, Edu, and Mikel Merino all look like a Pokemon evolution of each other. So I thought that was pretty funny. And I just can't. I honestly just can't wait to see. It already shows that Mikel is bringing good vibes to the squad. And when I say Mikel, I mean both Mikels, Mikel Arteta and Mikel Merino, with their vibes coming through. We heard him address the locker room already, and I think it's just an overall a great addition to the squad. I feel bad for Thomas Partey, who has been having great games. But I just think that unfortunately he's the victim out of all of this, and he will be dropped down to our bench. But again,
I think
great.
he gets displaced straight away.
That's what I was actually going to ask you guys next. I do
Okay.
think he actually does get the nod this Saturday.
Really?
When we look at our other new arrivals, you look at Calafiori, you look at all of them. Yeah, yes, they had Euro time in the Euros. But again, Calafiori was grouped, probably had an extended vacation. The transfer was going, a little slow, a little dragging their feet a little bit. I think Marino could just slide right in. I think it's a like for like change, and again, he's been playing football more recently than Calafiori has, given the transfer status. And I like I said, I do think he slides right in. I also think we might see Calafiori start as well this weekend, but we can get into that in a little bit. Let's talk about our outgoings. There's been a few that we had to say good luck and best wishes to. Regardless of our opinions on them, they have been great servants for the club. We have to say goodbye to Eddie Nketiah, who is going to Crystal Palace, I believe, for about 30 million, 25 million. And
25 plus 5 hours.
yeah. And then tonight's heartbreaking news, the goalkeeper that saved us from many a times, Aaron Ramsdale going to the Saints, going to Southampton for around the same price of $24 million, or euros, I should say, pounds, however their currency is. USA on top, USD, raw. But those are our outgoings, and then of course we obviously had the outgoing of Smith Rowe, who bagged this weekend. Of course he did. I have a feeling we're going to be kicking ourselves about that. Let's start with the Nketiah. Coach Ari, how do you feel about Nketiah's departure?
Honestly, I think he was a good servant to the club for sure. I think he came in at times when we needed him and did his job, and obviously there were times where he came in and did fuck all. But still, I think there are a lot of memories that he'll look back on and be fond of, especially 2 seasons ago when he was in the squad a lot more frequently and Gabriel was injured. So I wish him nothing but the best. I think he'll do well at a club like Palace, somewhere in the middle of the table. I think he'll thrive in that sort of environment. So hopefully he'll bring a quality to them the way that Emil is bringing to Fulham, where it's just a higher level, and he's bringing them up. I'd love to see that, obviously, against everyone but us. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't always been the biggest fan of it in Nketiah, just because his finishing hasn't always been the best. But he does work hard, and he puts his head down and grinds, and there aren't really issues from him. So just wish him the best.
All right, Doc, how about you?
I'm going to keep it positive because I think a lot of the players that are outgoings for Arsenal, just like Ari was saying, we want to keep it positive and wish them all the best. I will say he was a great servant to the club whenever Jesus started getting injured, like Ari said. We had the 10 stretch of games where he just came in and he was scoring exactly when we needed somebody to come in and be scoring. Now, it obviously did taper off, but I will never forget his goal against Manchester United.
Mm-hmm.
That late winner, that's probably going to be the highlight memory that I have of him in an Arsenal shirt, is bagging that goal for us. I think that took it to 3-2 after Lisandro Martinez had tied it up off of a corner. But I wish him all the best. I think the one that's hurting me the most is the Ramsdale outgoing. But before we get to that, VK, do you have anything to say to Nketiah?
Again,
Is
gonna
he
keep it positive.
watching this?
Yeah, gotta keep this positive. If you are watching this, and Ketia, I know for a fact you're gonna smash it at Palace. I think Palace is a better system suited for Nketiah. I think when he does go to Palace, I think he is going to start. I think he is going to go right up top. I think he's going to be a very clinical finisher for them. Reunited with Rob Holdini, Rob Holdinho. So, hope they can say what's up to each other. But honestly, again, I think it's a move that makes sense for him in a footballing sense because, like I said, he's going to get way more playing time there. It's a team that very rarely is in danger of being relegated. He's going to be still playing Premier League football. And I think it's a no-brainer. I think he is going to suit Crystal Palace really well. And we wish him nothing but the best. All right, now that my TikTok clip's over, he fucking sucked and did not deserve to wear the 14 shirt. But now that we're saying that, Aaron Ramsdale, moving on to the departure of Aaron Ramsdale, our number one jersey is probably going to get changed to David Raya next season. But Aaron Ramsdale moving out of the club, especially since we are targeting another Spanish goalkeeper for a loan spell for our number two.
Espanol.
Yeah, from Espanol. Aaron Ramsdale for the Saints. Doc, how you feeling?
And for everything that he did for the club, I think one of the things now, I mean, as a manager, I guess you have to be ruthless, but one of the things that still upsets me about Arteta to this day, and I think it always will, and it'll be okay, but after everything Ramsdale did that season to get us back in the Champions League, not giving him the nod in the first Champions League match still sits with me to this day. And the fact that that season he was just phased out like that after all he did for the club, how hard he worked for the club, it was really hard to see. And we bought him for 30 mil. And we're taking a hit. We're selling them for 18 plus like 7 million in add-ons, or 6 million add-ons plus 1 mil if Southampton stays up. So we're taking a loss there. But the fact that we were still able to get that amount of money from him after everything that he went through, while trying to get back into the Arsenal side, and basically he was ostracized from the first team to an extent. Unbelievable professional throughout everything that he went through. Never stopped supporting David Raya, never stopped supporting Arsenal, was through and through professional, and I wish you all the best at Southampton. I hope you fucking kill it.
Yeah. Ari?
Yeah, I'll miss our favorite wind-up merchant. I always remember all the times, he turned around and wound up the away crowd. Like it's just too funny. But there are so many compilations I see as well online where like just how excited and how thrilled he was every time we scored, and he celebrated like he was scoring the goal himself. He was definitely a fan favorite, and it's sad to see him go because he's such a good character. But I think that speaks volumes to him and how he is as a person. And like you guys said, he always just kept cheering on the squad and cheering all the boys on. So a lot of love for him. I do think as much as Arteta was wrong to not allow him to get any Champions League time, really, I think from what we've seen from Raya in the more recent time, he is miles above him in terms of what he can do with the ball at his feet, but also in terms of his command and presence in the box. I feel like he's just a lot stronger in the air. And I do think Ramsdale was a little bit more of a flashy, like, camera saver, for sure. Like, obviously he had some great saves for us that kept us in very, very tight games, but I do think he was a little bit of a camera merchant. So, but yeah, wish him all the best. Hope he kills it at Southampton. That'll be what, like 4 or 5 goalkeepers in the Prem now that have played for us that are now playing for other teams. We have Leno, Emmy Martinez,
Turner.
Turner, and Ramsdale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Couldn't agree with both of you more. He's going to be very missed throughout the club. The "your shit ha" chant that he made so famous. It just makes me it makes me gonna miss him a lot. And again, I agree with both of you. Him celebrating the goals, and you almost, when you think of like that last minute goal that Liverpool had against Everton, and Jurgen Klopp runs onto the field and tackles Allison, right? I think if we had a manager that was like Jurgen Klopp, that would be happening every time we scored. I think Aaron Ramsdale would go for that hug every time. And he's gonna be very sorely missed. But again, I have to give him a lot of props for remaining professional. He was phased out for pretty much no reason. I will say I think Arteta did make the right call. I think David Raya has been incredible for us, and I think will continue to be incredible for us. But Ramsdale was just him, Ramsdale was like a Gooner. You could tell that he was a Gooner. You had David Raya coming out saying that Arsenal was just a stepping stone to get to Real Madrid, whereas you had Aaron Ramsdale be like, no, I love this club. I want to play for this club no matter what happens. If they want to sell me, they could sell me, but until then, I want to fight for my spot. I want to play, and I think that speaks volumes to his character. So we touched a little bit on a future coming, which is an Arsenal goalkeeper loan for an individual who plays goalie for Espanyol. I do not know your name. I apologize. But let's talk about another incoming. The number 14 shirt is vacant, which means we need to fill our Thierry Henry number, the legendary number that all future Arsenal legends wear, and Nketiah. He's a legend, But no, in all seriousness, number 14, Darwin Nunez from Liverpool, linked to Arsenal. Very improbable. We have about 48 hours to get that deal done, but it is possible. It is possible because it seems like Arne Slot, even after coming out saying that Darwin Nunez is going to be his main man, does not look like Darwin Nunez is going to be his main man. You're going on match day 3, and he only played 20 minutes. What do you guys think of that? Do you think that's just kind of like hearsay, speculation, or do you think that this transfer could actually go through?
I think it's hearsay, speculation. I don't see us pulling the trigger on Darwin Nunez. I think a more realistic option is us going for a winger, or like a versatile player that can play on both wings that Arteta really likes, even though I would prefer an out-and-out right winger to give Saka backup and support. I don't think we're going to get that. I don't see us signing another forward, even though Eddie is leaving. I think we're going to just ride it out with Havertz up top.
King Kai.
And Jesus, hoping that he will somehow stay healthy for half the season. And if not, probably playing Trossard at the 9 up top as a false 9, which we've done already before. I think it's more realistic seeing us getting a winger, even though it would be interesting to see if Arteta could bring out the best in Darwin Nunez.
Darwizzy. That's my goat. Oh, do you think that Darwin Nunez singing guy will become an Arsenal fan? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Darwin Nunez, he plays for the... Holy shit. I don't know if I can keep that in. All right.
So you have to keep that in?
No, for all of you at home that stayed in, okay, and you can laugh at VK's expense. That was wild. Okay, we're just gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Ari, what do you think about the Darwin Nunez transfer speculation?
I don't know. I find it unlikely because their only other striker right now is Jota, no? So if Jota gets injured, as he does so often, they don't really have depth.
Yeah, but Salah could play striker. And Gakpo.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Gakpo really looks that convincing in the 9. I don't know.
He's playing over Nunez, which is crazy.
Well, no, it's Jota, Diaz, and Salah.
Yeah, but when Jota comes off, it's for Gakpo. It's not for you know what I mean. Like, Gakpo gets subbed in anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's likely, but also I don't know. His price tag is pretty high. No, it's probably like
72.
60, 70. Yeah. So I if we're not pulling the trigger on players like Osimhen and other big money signings, I find it unlikely. But what I will say is Chiesa to Liverpool for 13, 14 mil, insane signing. Insane. Even though he can't stay fit, like
it's free money for Juventus. It's like, okay, please take our injury
take Chiesa. Please take a surgery
and take his hospital bed with him.
Well, when he's not hurt, he's a baller. I feel like I don't know.
When isn't he hurt though? He's going to be the Jesus.
I don't think he's as injured as people think he is. He was recovering from an ACL injury for like a year and a half, and he's finally getting back to football. So, I don't know.
I think they're moving on from him, but that price tag, I will agree with you, is unreal.
Yeah,
for a player like Chiesa.
He should at least. He's only 26, I think. So he should at least be like 35, 40 mil, like minimum. But maybe if they bring Chiesa in, maybe. Gakpo or Nunez goes, but I really don't see us jumping into that because I think it's too expensive in terms of the options that Arteta want to look for in the market. So, yeah.
I think Gyökeres is like he has a release clause that is somewhere in the region of like 70 or 80 mil. I'm not saying that we're gonna go and splash that kind of cash. But if we're looking at a center forward and Nunez is going to be even more than that, that's another option for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
He's already 7 goal contributions in 3 matches, which is pretty insane.
That is pretty insane.
Gyökeres.
And this might be my favorite celebration that I've.
Isn't that a My Hero Academia thing?
This is like the Hannibal Lecter. I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
He just scores and he just runs like this. It's just freaking sick.
That's wild. That actually is really cool. All right, I'm going to move swiftly on from that career-ending voice crack that I just had. Let's move on to this weekend. Brighton at 7:30 in the morning. I have a little fun fact for you. FootMob has Danny Welbeck as a higher ranking than Saka right now. Danny Welbeck's rating is a 8.48 and Saka's is an 8.43. So that guy Welbs moving mad over in the coast of Brighton. How do you guys
reinventing his career?
Yeah, literally. How do you guys see this match going this weekend? Because again, I think it's just one of those, just like in Aston Villa, where it's not a clear-cut victory for the Arsenal. I think this is going to be a difficult game. How are you guys feeling about it?
The new manager hasn't played well. I think they're playing well. But I think overall we're levels above them in terms of class and what we were able to do on the ball. I do think. Well, I don't think it's going to be an easy win necessarily. I do think that we will win. I have confidence that the boys will pull out a result because, honestly, like we haven't played well this so far this season. Like I don't think either of the games we played like necessarily brilliantly. And we were able to pull out results in both of the matches, even when we didn't look good. So we'll be at home. I think that's important as well. So if we're able to play well the way I feel like we have in the past, I think it would be an easy victory. But we'll see. I mean, they have important injuries out with Estupinan and Solid March. I think those are pretty big.
March is still out.
Yeah, he's still out. And what was I going to say? I was going to say they also lost Pascal Gross, obviously. So
where'd Gross go?
I think he went to the Bundesliga. I want to say he went to the Bundesliga, but I think
was it Dortmund?
Those are 3 pretty big losses for them.
I think it might have been Dortmund.
Find out for you.
I believe so. Yeah, he's not Dortmund.
Yeah.
That's
so those
huge
are
transfer for him actually.
Yeah, those are three very, very big losses for them. Um, so I think it'll be a good game for us, for sure. What
Doc?
about
I
you, Doc?
definitely agree with that. Yeah, I think this is going to be our most comfortable win so far this season. Not necessarily that we're going to be on cruise control. I think it's going to be one of our more convincing wins. Like Ari was saying, I think the two wins that we've had this season haven't been super convincing victories. We've done enough to win the matches with some key substitutions. Um, but I do think we're going to handle this match well, being back at home, early kickoff, and I think Arteta's class managing is going to show over the youngest manager in Premier League history, who's sitting at 31 years of age, which blows my mind. DK, what about you?
I think it's going to be a difficult matchup. Again, Brighton is one of those bogey cards that we seem to have had over the past seasons. Looking at our heads to heads, we only have 8 wins to their 6, and then 3 draws. So it's a lot closer than what people think. Um, I don't know. I'd like to see a little bit of the clinicality within the team kind of get cleaned up a little bit. I think if we do play how we usually play, as we saw the boys play last season, I think this is going to be a comfortable win. If we see them how they played last weekend, I think it's going to be another one of those where we're going to be sweating until the 70th minute. I think it's going to be a very, as we predicted last time. The game was not very tactical. It was very counter attack footballing. I think this is going to be the complete opposite. I think we're going to see whichever midfield shows up is going to be the team that wins it. I do think we have the strongest midfield in the Prem. World-class Odegaard can just single-handedly carry us to victory, unlike certain Ukrainians that are on the team. And I just think that our midfield is simply world-class and that we're going to win the game because of that. With that being said, I would like to see a tidy 3-1 win for the Arsenal. I don't think we... You know what? I do think we keep a clean sheet. I'm gonna go with 3-0 win for the Arsenal for
3-3.
for this weekend. I'm gonna go 3. I'm gonna go. I think Bukayo Saka has to score to be ranked higher than Danny Welbeck because that's just disrespect. That's insanely disrespectful. I'm gonna say Bukayo Saka. I'm gonna say Martin Odegaard and that boy, Mr. Italian Aura, Riccardo Calafiori, is gonna get his first goal for the Arsenal. Those are my opinions. If it ends 2-0 and Bukayo and Odegaard score, it's
No,
fine.
don't take it back.
But
It's
I'm
on
not
you.
taking it back.
You
I'm not
ride
taking it
that
back.
shit.
But I'm just saying that I'm saying 3-0 and Ricky Calafiori is going to bang one in the back of the net. Ari, how about you with your match predictions and your goal scorers?
I'm gonna say a convincing 2-0 victory. Um, I think we'll score off a set piece with Gabriel, and I think Havertz bags one.
Think Havertz bagged one?
Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah, brother. King Kai, King Kenny, King Havertz. I forget how to say king in German, otherwise I would. All right. Any other things you guys want to talk about moving forward? I think we kind of covered it all.
I think we did.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you guys are enjoying, as always, make sure you follow us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Spotify. Make sure you are listening in on Spotify as well. Spotify listeners, go on over to the YouTube if you guys want to see our beautiful faces and the beautiful kits that we're wearing. Make sure to hit the subscribe over there. Thank you again so much for all the support over the past couple weeks. Y'all have been killing it. We're getting 1,000 plays per TikTok, 1,000 plays per reel. We're making a name for the GGW boys, and we will see you all next week for our weekly podcast. And as always, come on, you Gunners.
Come on, you Gunners.